But I guess the flip is, Aaron, are you disappointed with what you got for the two big losses that you had, if you will?
What you mean money wise?
Yeah,
Well, I think with Maddison, first of all, he wasn't going to go for too much more than that because he only had a year left on his contract. I think that was ultimately why the deal seemed a good one. I mean, obviously, I think he was always going to leave at the end of the season, regardless of whether we stayed up. I think, and maybe we could have asked for maybe a little bit more if we'd have stayed in the division. Um, but it just seemed like the best deal for all involved, and I think it was good to kind of just get that done,
yeah, I get that.
move along, and just he's been great for us, but it was like it's time to go. He needed to go, up to another level, and we needed the money. So, Barnes was one that I thought there was an inkling that he may stay, but again, I think if he's got aspirations of like playing for England and stuff, then he had to be back in the Premier League, and I understand that as well. And he's got a good move there, hasn't he? So
Aspirations of playing for Scotland is the rumour that's going around at the moment. Matt, can you
yeah.
enlighten us?
You wonder why, 5-5. Look like we're gonna win the Euros next year, James. It's all going well.
Yeah, quaking over here, mate. Honestly, good. It's no, honestly, genuinely, it's nice to see Scotland doing well. Hope you
Yeah,
lose
it is.
Tuesday night though.
Yeah,
How's my boy Winksy doing, Azza?
Yeah, he's great, mate. He's
Good. I'm glad
he's
to hear that.
Yeah, well, he's basically the centerpiece of the team because everything goes through him. He's sitting in the base of that midfield, linking the defense to the forward line, and he's just involved in everything. As you know, he's very good on the ball, ticks it over nicely. He's just the perfect player that Enzo needed in that position. And yeah, he looks great. He looks really. I think he's got a point to prove as well, isn't he? Which is always good in players that have obviously dropped down a level.
He was our best player in the Champions League final 4 years ago, mate. And he wasn't fit either, and he could only do an hour. And he was arguably our best player. And I
Yeah,
just think, unfortunately, the three managers that followed afterwards, it's almost brainwashed him, isn't it? Because he's a forward-thinking player, despite the role that he plays. Wants to pass forward, doesn't want to be restricted, and I think he has been. And he got judged a lot more. I think he suffers with concentration defensively off the ball, but on it, good footballer who got badly restricted, and I think hampered and probably became quite disillusioned, like a lot of people at Tottenham, with what he was working with, etc. And I know a lot of the fans eventually wanted him to move on, but he always thought if he'd have got another manager in like the ones who's at Tottenham now, he might well have progressed again. And I think the best thing was a break for everyone, but he's probably absolutely loving it down at your place, feeling like he's a centre of attention and a
yeah,
fresh start.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even before he kicked the ball, you heard him sort of when he signed for the club, how positive he was and how looking forward he was to working under Enzo and just the style of football and stuff. Honestly, it was like glowing. So that was sort of positive straight away. So he's been a real breath of fresh air that we've needed in there. He's so positive, always looking forward. Really good influence. I mean, he's a good pro. Rarely gets injured. So yeah, he's
Or I
been
don't know,
great.
some at Tottenham might say different to that bit, but go on.
Oh really? Okay.
Well, I hope he
Right.
stays fit for you, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll be a massive miss if there's a problem with him because, like I say, he's literally the hub of the whole midfield and the whole team. So very important for us.
That feels like a signing that's sort of almost above that level a little bit, I think. And it's
Yeah.
not necessarily going to replace what you've obviously lost in the likes of Maddison and stuff, but that's a really good, astute signing because I think he certainly could have done a job for a few Premier League clubs, actually.